I love Harumaki Gohan. Finding his music earlier this year was probably one of the most exciting, fulfilling, and enriching journeys I've been on listening to music in a very long time. I can't even find the words to describe just how much his music means to me, or just how much I click with his signature sound. But even if the words escape me, I did name myself after one of his songs after all, so I really hope that goes to show just how important an artist he's become to me, even outside just the scope of Vocaloid producers. I absolutely adore the work of Harumaki Gohan, especially his album Neo Dream Traveler, which I consider to be near perfect, but that's besides the point. No matter what I find myself doing when one of his songs comes on, I find myself getting lost in its sound. The world around me stands still as I'm transported somewhere magical, where everything but the rich emotions of his music melts away from me. Even though I haven't even read the lyrics for most of his songs, they're all brimming with a palpable sense of emotion from just the sound alone. The instrumentals and vocals are both crafted masterfully, giving his music an instantly recognizable sound that always tells me, don't worry, you're home now. So, with all that, I'm sure you can tell why I would be totally stoked for any new Harumaki Gohan song that was getting released. Well, recently it wasn't just any Harumaki Gohan song that got released. This is where Chimera comes into the picture. Chimera is a currently upcoming collaboration compilation album, being worked on by 12 popular Vocaloid producers. It will consist of songs that are collaboratively made by 2 producers at a time. You know, Marvel vs. Capcom ain't got nothing on Niru vs. Chinozo. You know, huh? What the f*** do you mean they're not fighting?
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The mere idea of new Vocaloid collaboration songs really excites me, especially since one of my favorite songs in general was actually a collab between 2 of my favorite producers, Million Ones by Jin and Kemu. You might recognize the song from when I used it in this video. Not this video, like this video that I'm showing on screen right now, not the one that you're watching, just so, yeah, you know, Hearing the styles of 2 different producers that you're really familiar with do the fusion dance and come out sounding like a straight like a straight bus and swirl cone makes it feel like a full-blown event every time it comes on. I can't, I'm sorry, it's so dumb. With names like Meltyland, Chinozo, Pinocchio P, Niru, and even more attached to a project like this, you've certainly got my attention. But throw Harumaki Gohan in the mix? I'm literally stumbling over furniture at a full sprint in order to hear what you've got to say, so hurry up and say it! Well, lucky me, I guess. We were given a single full song the day after the announcement of Chimera, and it was Harumaki Gohan's collaboration with Niru Kajitsu from Nilfruits, titled Unmei. I wasn't even completely sure who Niru Kajitsu was until after the song came out, so I really had no idea what to expect going in, and oh boy, I was not ready. Okay, before we get started, I just want to level with you guys. I know that I'm the funny YouTuber man who's making this video essay that you're watching right now, but it's not a video essay. I have no clue what I'm talking about. I love music a lot, but I have little to no idea what's going on under the hood, so I'm going to be talking about some absolute nonsense here. Do not take my word for gospel, and do not consider me an expert. I'm just an avid fan who feels stuff and happens to have a YouTube channel and way too much free time. Disclaimer aside, let's get ignorant. Alright, so the song began with considerably more energy in the instrumental than I was expecting it to have going in, but I was all for it. Then once the vocals start up and Miku starts singing about as fast as Hanakawa Black speaks, the seeds started to get planted in my head that this song was something very different than the rest of Harumaki Gohan stuff. One of the first major things in the song that jumped out to me, besides the high speed of the vocals and all, was the instrumental choice. Even before the song picks up in its chorus, there's a strange feeling in the song's first verse that makes it feel like a subtle twist on much of Harumaki Gohan's recent work, while also reminding me a bit of his first album's style in other ways, but I'll come back to that later. It has many, if not all, of the same instruments and conventions that make his recent songs so identifiable, but there's an unusual nature to how they're used in Unmei's beginning that slowly started to throw me off. The synths and acoustic guitar, so often sounding bouncy and carefree, are given a subtly more frantic feeling when paired with the song's unusually powerful percussion and bass line, and also accompanied by the fast plucks of the understated electric guitar, building a slowly growing sense of unease as the verse progressed. But even with all of that, it still wasn't quite hitting me just yet what was so different about this song. Further into the verse, we're introduced to the song's second singer, Flower, who sounds absolutely wonderful tuned by Niru Kajitsu. The Nilfruit-style Flower and Gohan-style Miku start to go back and forth as the percussion continues to swell in intensity underneath them. Then, finally, there's calm. The instrumental strips back to just an acoustic guitar and a piano as the vocals tenderly, yet also tensely, start to build towards the chorus. And it's just then, right there, that shit gets nuts. Finally, the chorus hits and the instrumental suddenly erupts into a brilliantly intense climax as the drums relentlessly draw you in and lock you there in the heat of the moment. The cymbals crash and the electric guitar fills out the entire soundscape with this captivating and electrifying high-frequency playing past you with breakneck speed. There's absolutely nowhere for you to breathe as you're sucked into this intense, relentless world of sound. All the while, you're watching this song's incredible music video as it dives headfirst in with the hell nightmare. What am I doing? You know, I'm gonna just go with this take. I don't even care anymore. At this point, I was fully aware that Unmei was nowhere near an ordinary Harumaki Gohan song. The tone and instrumentals alone made that clearly apparent. I mean, it was a collaboration piece too, after all. But it struck me right in the middle of the chorus what was so off about this song. More so than even the explosion of sound at the chorus's beginning, I was completely taken off guard by this one singular small moment. So much so that I needed a second to collect myself. It was right here, this single chord progression. This small moment was undoubtedly the darkest melody I'd ever heard in a Harumaki Gohan song, and it shook me to my core when I first heard it, and I realized right there that this song was truly something special. Side note. Hearing prominent electric guitar in Harumaki Gohan's music is always a treat for me, and it's something that we haven't seen much, if at all, since his first album, Blue Ending Nova. Coincidentally enough, I had been listening to that album a bunch just before Unmei got announced, so it kinda threw me off at first, hearing the guitar in a newer Gohan song like that. And no, I'm not counting Lily off of Futadino, because that used the guitar to build a totally different atmosphere from Unmei or anything on Blue Ending Nova. Like, Lily's still great though, it's just a different breed. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that I was really reminded of Harumaki Gohan's early work on Blue Ending Nova from the style of instrumentation and the amount of energy in Unmei, though with the tuning and a few other elements more in line with his most recent album, Futadino. Funnily enough, Harumaki Gohan remastered We of the 22nd Century from Blue Ending Nova for Futadino, so now I feel kinda silly for saying something like that, but there's your little bit of trivia for the day. But as I said earlier, something just felt off at first. Now, don't mind me because I'm about to talk really stupid as I compare the difference in feeling between Unmei and Last Light, which is my favorite song off of Blue Ending Nova. Also, just for the sake of visuals, I'm going to be using the original 2014 video for Last Light, along with the 2016 album version of the song for music, because when the song was remade for the actual album, it didn't get a new video. I just wanted to flex that I knew that more than anything. This is really unnecessary, so I don't know why I included it. While both songs are somewhat similar in the way that they both predominantly feature drums and electric guitar to help create an intense and potently emotional atmosphere, the two songs are both trying to convey very different, but still vividly realized emotions. I apologize in advance if these are misreadings of the songs based on just how they sound to me. I haven't read the lyrics for either of them yet, and decided, at least for this video, that I would rather keep my impressions as pure as I can for the sake of this admittedly juvenile comparison. Last Light feels like it has a certain tenderness to its vocals and instrumental, along with a few teaspoons of melancholy mixed in. It's got that little pinch of darkness, but it's not the focus. It reminds me a lot of a burning sense of longing, but one with its fair share of hope still left in it. A last light, if you will. I'm not sorry. Contrastingly, the feelings conveyed through the sound of Unmei come off as far darker, but I have to admit that I'm a bit influenced by the video in my headcanon of the song. Unmei comes off as much more chaotic and existential, more befitting of a nightmare. I won't go as far as to say that it sounds hopeless. It feels more like the person in the song is trapped in some way and wishes to escape. While using a lot of the same instruments and conventions, the two songs each have pretty different feelings to them, with Unmei still strongly setting itself apart as a much darker and more intense piece. That's at least how I hear them, though. Let me know what you think. And yes, I will read the lyrics. Please don't leave that comment. Don't be that guy. I'm nowhere near qualified enough to discuss music in depth or intelligently, but both of these songs make me feel very, very strong emotions, but very different ones. Also, I just really wanted an excuse to talk about Last Light because I love that song so much, and more people need to know about it. It's so good. But that's enough, music brain monkey theory. Oh wait, did I say that backwards? Anyway, side note end. From the first chorus onward, Unmei never loses any sense of forward momentum or tension, and remains constantly engaging. Flower even gets her own segment at the end of the second verse that really helps keep things stylistically fresh. It builds up even more energy throughout the second verse, and leads into and through the last chorus with blazing energy. And that's where the song finally broke me. I was not ready for the ending of this song. Leading out of the final chorus, the song continues barreling forward, and the guitars continue to swell, even as the last seconds before their time runs out quickly tick away. And it's with one final shriek of the guitars that the song finally reaches a climax beyond even my wildest imagination, especially for something made by Harumaki Gohan of all people. My expectations shattered multiple times over, and my jaw on the floor. This song finally broke me. Its final scene remains burned into my retinas while the wailing guitars still echo in my ears. I don't even think I've ever had such a strong emotional reaction to a piece of music in my life. And I love it. It's been days, and I still cannot listen to Unmei without what feels like every muscle in my body tensing up. I know I've been talking about this song for placeholder minutes already and all, but I can't really even find the words to describe how Unmei truly makes me feel. And I haven't even read the lyrics to the song yet. I will. I swear I will. Please don't leave that comment. Unmei's feelings conveyed through just music alone transcend words, and I think more than anything else, that's an astounding feat by both Harumaki Gohan and Niru Kajitsu. If this is only our first taste of Chimera so far, I am beyond excited to see where this compilation album goes. The duo is even getting an extra song together too, and it sounds incredible so far from the short sample of it we got in the album trailer. But all things considered, I'm a little bit worried that the rest of Chimera won't live up to Unmei for me. Though by no means do I mean I think it'll be bad. This just might be my favorite song released all year, so the album's gonna have some massive shoes to fill. But even if Chimera were to peak right here for me, this just goes to show the level of quality we can expect from this incredibly exciting collaboration, and I honestly can't wait to see what else it's got up its sleeve. I really don't have any real message or theme for this video, to be honest. This song just made me feel things so intense that I couldn't even begin to describe them. Well, I guess I began, but I couldn't fully dive into... Anyway, for that alone, I felt like I needed to share it with people. I couldn't bear to keep it to myself. I love Harumaki Gohan, and you better believe I'm about to be all over Niru Kajitsu and Nilfruit's work after this. Anyway, I hope I was able to pique someone's interest with all this gushing and, you know. Go check out Unmei and all the rest of Harumaki Gohan stuff if you haven't. And I know you probably haven't, so go check it out! I'm not asking! I haven't even scratched the surface of all that I wanted to say about his music, so let me know if you'd like me to revisit his work sometime. I'd personally love to. And even if you don't tell me to, I probably will eventually, but it doesn't hurt. Also, I'm sorry if I undersold the collaborative aspect of this song. Niru Kajitsu brought some of the most exciting parts of this project to the table, but I'm just nowhere near as familiar with his work. Unmei just hit me as hard as it did because I'm an avid fan of Harumaki Gohan, so it just made much more sense framing the video around that for me. Plus, the other song they're doing together seems to be a lot more in line with Niru Kajitsu's style, so I guess that makes this more of a Gohan song anyway. Well, that's about all I've got for now. If you enjoyed me babbling like a doofus, be sure to subscribe and do all the other stuff that people on YouTube do on YouTube. I do stuff. Sometimes. It would be cool if you were there for it. Ha, wink wink. Anyway, I appreciate all the support, and hopefully I'll be able to find a better flow sometime so I can maintain some sort of schedule. But until next time, thanks for watching. And seriously, go listen to Harumaki Gohan. It is a threat, actually. I'm not asking. Don't make me come over there!